now.
Welcome to the Toastmasters International educational program called Pathways. Pathways has 11 paths that you can choose from, and that can be overwhelming. So what we're going to do today is we're going to explore pathways to show you how easy it is to navigate and how you can go ahead and get started as soon as you want. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to actually go to the Toastmasters International website. In your browser, you can just type toastmasters.org, or you can put Toastmasters International, or you can actually copy this actual URL. So I'm going to go ahead and go in. As you can see, we are live. I have not signed in as a member, so this is something that new members or people who are visiting your club can go ahead and explore on their own. To get into the pathways, all you need to do is click on the Pathways tab and click on Pathways again. Now, this is how you will actually take the assessment and pick your path, which is fun to do. You can do it as often as you want. This is a video that will give you valuable information on paths themselves. Here are the 11 paths that exist. I will go into that in a few minutes. Here are some more videos. Pathways itself, and then a video on Basecamp, which is how you get in and out of Pathways and how you update your information. But this is the actual first project in the Pathways program. There are 11 paths, and every path has the same structure, and every single path, no matter which one you pick, starts with the icebreaker. And you can actually go ahead and get right into the icebreaker project. As Toastmasters is an international program, we have it in many languages. I only speak English, so I'm going to pick English. And we wait. And here we are. We are actually in the Pathways program, and we are in the Icebreaker project. And it will tell you about the screens, how to move along. It will go all the way through. I'm not going to go all the way through the project, but it will go all the way through to actually doing the project and your evaluation form for your evaluator so that they can give you feedback on this. So you can actually do your icebreaker project before you have picked your path. All right, so that is a wonderful thing. Now let's see if I can go back and go back. All right, so then what I want to show you now is a sample of the actual paths. So as I said, all paths have 5 levels, exactly the same. In addition to that, every path, level 1, is exactly the same. Yes, no matter what path you pick, level 1 is exactly the same. We just looked at the icebreaker. You're going to get an evaluation from someone at the meeting. They're going to tell you what you did really well, and they're going to give you some tips for improvement. And that's what we call evaluation and feedback. While you're in your path, you will learn about receiving feedback and giving feedback. And so then what you're going to do is you're going to give another speech, you're going to get an evaluation and feedback, and then you're going to apply that to the same speech, or if you want to do a different speech, you can do a different speech. I love it when people do the same speech a second time, incorporating that feedback, because the difference is amazing. You can even feel the difference yourself. Then the final project of level 1 is researching and presenting. It sounds more complicated than it is. It's just doing some research, going out on the internet and finding some information. Maybe you've never been a gardener and you want to do some container gardening. You look up some information, then you pull out 3 of the most important points, and you create a 5 to 7 minute speech explaining how to go ahead and do this, and give the information, cite your source, and that's it. And then you'll get feedback on that, and then you will take a little survey and you will move to level 2. Level 2 is where the paths start to change. In this path, it focuses on communication. So you're going to understand your communication style by taking a little survey and learning about your communication style and all the other communication styles and how they work together. If you are in a leadership path, you would learn about your leadership style by, again, taking a little survey and learning about your style, all the other leadership styles, and how they work together. And then there's a couple of paths where you do both, so you get a bonus. A speech, using your body to help stress points in the speech. So you might be using your hands, you might be using facial expressions, and in your path, that will tell you how to incorporate that. There will be videos showing you the before and after when people are doing that. In a path that is focusing on leadership, you would not have that project. Then the final project that everybody has in level 2 is the project on mentoring. Mentoring is very important to Toastmasters International, and this is where we learn more about it. And then when you give a speech on when you were a protege, you don't give a speech on the mentoring program, you give a speech on what it was like. For me, it would be what it was like when I first started out in my career and what manager or person mentored me and helped me. And that's very interesting, and that's interesting to other people, and it helps us understand more about mentoring by putting ourselves back into that situation. And then level 3 is when we start to get into what we call the elective projects. Look at all these projects that are available and notice you only have to pick 2, but you could do as many of them as you want. And then in level 4, we get into, the first project, the required project was persuasive speaking, and then you do 2 electives. And then in level 4, you only have to do 1 of these electives. But look at what these electives are. A social media presence, creating a podcast, managing online meetings. These are things that you can use in your work life, in your personal life. This is more than just giving speeches. This is really going to help develop you and help you in your career or in your volunteer work. And as I said, you can do as many of these as you want. You do not have to limit yourself. The really cool thing is, even if you are in level 1, you can jump ahead and look at these projects and actually do them. You can't get credit for them, but you can hold on to your evaluation and you can save it for when you catch up to that level. And then the final level is always demonstrating expertise. And again, you have 2, these are the required projects, and then you only have to pick 1 of these items. So let's go into my actual path. Let's go live. So this is how we sign into Toastmasters International. If you are a member, you may have already set this up, as I have. If you have not, you would put in your email address that you put on your application form, and then you would click Forgot Password, and it would help you set up your password. I actually have a password and everything already set up. And now, as you can see, it's welcoming me. And guess what? That is the easiest way to get into your Pathways program. So for those of you that signed up for Pathways a long time ago and did your icebreaker and then got busy doing other things and you forgot how to get back in, just sign in and click on where it welcomes you. And this is also a very interesting screen because it has so much on it. If you want to choose a path, you can go there. If you want to double check that it's got your name spelled right, if you want to see things that you have done, or if you move, check your address, things like that. I'm in 2 paths, and so we're just going to go right in. And as you can see, I'm in Innovative Planning, which is a leadership-focused path. And I'm in Presentation Mastery, which is the one that I already showed you. So let's see what Innovative Planning looks like. Okay, so according to this, I haven't gotten very far in this path because I focused on my other path. But let's just take a look at what we see here. As we said, we do the icebreaker, we do evaluation and feedback, we do researching and presenting, and then you take your survey and you complete your path. So this level is 100% completed, and my whole path, I'm 25% completed, all right? So let's go ahead and go to level 2. And as you can see, I've only done 2 things in this path in level 2. I've done understanding my leadership style and connecting with the audience. I still have another project to do before I can move on. But remember we talked about those electives? Well, even though I'm not actually in, even though I'm not actually in level 3 in this path, I can still jump ahead and I can go ahead and use, now let's say I have to give a speech using presentation software like PowerPoint, and it's been a while. And you know, maybe my last one was a technical presentation, so it didn't have to be fancy and didn't have to be so pretty, but now I'm doing a different type of presentation. I can go ahead and I can activate this, and I'll just show you. Here, it takes a second for it to load. I have a lot open on my computer as always. Come on. And there we are in the project. So as you can see, you can go ahead and you can go into the other projects and do them ahead of time. And that is a great thing because you may have something that you need to do for work or for a project that you need to do for a volunteer organization, or just something you're interested in that you haven't really gotten that far in your path, but you would like to go ahead and do that. You can go ahead and do it. And I'm not going to go ahead and begin it now. I'm going to, I hope it doesn't, yeah. Oops, okay. And then I'm just going to go back here. And as you can see, look at all these Look at all these options. And as I said before, you can do as many of these as you want. There is no extra charge. So if you really want to have fun with this and learn more than is required, you can go ahead and do that. And that is one of the really great things about Pathways, is that you have so much that you can do, and you can do as much as you want, or you can just do the requirement and move right ahead. All right, so, oops. So let's go back in again. And we have to log in again because I X'd out. I cannot talk and type in my password, or I will do it incorrectly. Okay, so as I said, you can go to Pathways by just clicking here. All right. We have all this other information. As I said, this, you can also go in this way. And then if you're looking for an evaluation form for a project, you can look at all the evaluation forms here. Tells you more information, but here are all the evaluation forms. So if you just very quickly need an evaluation form, that's where you can find it, okay? Now, one of the things I want to show you, and I'm having trouble getting to it, there we go, is when we first signed in, even when we were home, you can see that little gear. When you're in your meeting and you're doing meeting roles, this is how you would log them. So as you can see, I've done a lot of roles in my club. Here I was the Toastmaster, and then I was the table topics master. I was the timer one time, grammarian, general evaluator, the counter. So when you're doing these, and a lot of people like to sometimes do a role prior to doing their icebreaker project just to get comfortable going up and standing in front of the group. That's absolutely fine. Table topics is really fun to do. You get to pick the questions that people get to answer. And then you want to log that. And the reason you want to log that is because you cannot move from level 3 to level 4 if you have not fulfilled and logged all these roles. Okay, so that is something that you want to make sure that you do. And that concludes today what I wanted to show you regarding Pathways. As I said, you can always just go to Toastmasters International and explore. There's lots of things to explore. There's tours you can take. Just go ahead and have fun clicking on things. You can't break it, you can't hurt it, but go ahead and get comfortable. And if nothing else, go ahead and give your icebreaker project and get started. And then have some fun exploring those badges and checking out the different paths. So this has been an introduction to Pathways navigation. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a wonderful journey in Pathways. Bye-bye.